Today, I will explain a doctor shape-shifting a man into his wife for revenge. We see that the doctor fully gender swaps this man. This is a full body swap film. Movie name, The Skin I Live In. 99% of people watched my video but did not subscribe to my channel. Please support me because one movie takes 1 day to complete. This is very hard work. Okay, sit back and relax, and subscribe please. At the beginning of the movie, Robert is carefully experimenting. He was making the most perfect artificial skin in the world. She applied the skin to the woman's body, and baked it with high heat. The woman feels no pain at all, let the mosquitoes bite, and found that they didn't dare come near the skin, so the experiment was a success. But the skin, made from pig skin cells, caused global controversy and the woman's ordeal had only just begun. Vera has been locked up in a house for years. In this room there were only 3 channels on the television. Bored, Vera spent her time doing yoga and otherwise making clay figures. But there was never a moment when she didn't want to escape. When Robert made her put on her shapewear, she tried to escape when he wasn't looking. Every time she was caught by Robert, she was caught back. She tried to kill herself, but Robert saved her every time. Over time Vera stopped struggling, her hair grew longer and she became more peaceful. And Robert kept an eye on her, even to the point of being affectionate toward her. In the face of Vera's advances, Robert tries to escape. Even the servants of the house could not stand it. This woman will ruin us sooner or later. Robert is unconcerned. Everything is under his control, but while Robert is away on business, the servant's son, Tag, had just come from a robbery and was here for shelter. No sooner had he exchanged pleasantries than Tag discovered Vera's presence. Wasn't she burned that year? How did she recover so perfectly? So he kidnaps his mother and prepares to assault Vera. Robert, who had just returned, saw this. Robert didn't hesitate to kill Tag. Vera then learns a very shocking story from the servant. Robert was actually the servant's child. He and Tag were half-brothers. Unbeknownst to the 2 men, and that Vera's face resembled that of Robert's dead wife. Robert's wife eloped with Tag back then. There was an accidental car accident on the road. Tag ran away, leaving his wife badly burned. Robert forgave his wife. He also put away everything that shone a human light to look after his wife, and he worked to save her as time passed. His wife heard her daughter Nora singing that day. She had taught her daughter that song. So she tried to pull open the window to see. But it was this act that caused irreparable damage. Robert's wife saw her own horrible face. She jumped out of the window in shock, seeing her mother jump to her death from the window. The young Nora was terrified and suffered from depression. Robert takes great care of his daughter so that she can heal. Now he has only his daughter to support him, but when Nora grew up and finally left home to follow Robert to his wedding, something happened. That night, Nora and a fellow sailor, Vince, have a crush on each other. While walking in the small garden, Vincent suddenly asked, "Are you on drugs?" It turned out that Vince was a drug addict, and he was delirious with too many drugs, but Nora didn't notice and was talking about the depression pills she was taking. Just then, Vince raped her. When he regained consciousness, he scrambled away only to be confronted by Robert, who had come out looking for his daughter. His instincts tell him that this man has something to do with his daughter. Nora, who is in shock and awake again, sees Robert as her assailant. She is very resistant to him, and Robert's heart twists as he sees his daughter's condition deteriorate. One day, Vince runs out of the shop in an attempt to be lazy, only to be bumped into by Robert, who has been following him for a long time. Vince opened his eyes and found himself in a utility room. He was handcuffed and surrounded by nothing but a basin of water. A few days later, Robert appeared. No matter how much Vince begged for the mercy, he gave her food and walked away without a look on his face. Nora couldn't cope with the psychological pressure and jumped out of the window and left the world. Robert was devastated, and at the same time, he became less moral. Instead of resting, he was energized. He organizes a group of renowned doctors to perform a sex change operation on the unconscious Vincent. When he wakes up, Vincent wanted to know why. It was then that Robert revealed the reason for his abduction. The formula swag walks in the phrases, "Vera is Vincent." At first, Vince couldn't accept the change in himself. He tore up the little dress Robert had given him, but later, after he knew that resistance was futile, he slowly accepted his identity as a woman eager to get outside. She began to please Robert and would do anything to get out. and Robert came to realize from the moment Vince became Vera, his hatred for her was mixed with love. When he saw Tiger bullying her, he killed her immediately, so now, he allows Vera to walk around the whole house and Vera is doing her best to please him. It was only when a newspaper appeared that awakened the inner Vince. Robert wanted to take his relationship with Vera a step further. But then Vera said she had to go downstairs to get the lubricant. Robert then remembered that he had created this woman with his own hands. She had only recently changed her sex, so he waited in his room, only to be met with a merciless shot from Vera. When Vera returned from shopping that day, she found a newspaper message that her mother was looking for her. She realized that her mother had never given up looking for her. Vera also suddenly awakened the man called Vincent in her heart, so he kills Robert and hid under his bed to silence the servant. He returned to his old home in a panic, and Vera looked at her mother and cried. He didn't know which one to greet her, as at that moment she looked over but did not recognize him. Vera took off her coat and told the shop assistant that he had rented this dress for her that year. At the time she had been told to wear it herself. Now, amazingly, he was wearing it himself. This movie ends here. Subscribe, please.